Eder, one of the more interesting guys I've ever met. Talk about intelligence. The guy speaks 3 different languages.
Wow. I haven't gotten much time to speak with him, but that's incredible.
You know, he's very fluent in English, obviously fluent in Portuguese, and he was actually helping translate a little bit in Spanish for our skaters from Argentina. They all got to visit Stadium High School and work with my high school kids in PE class this week, which was really, really neat. But yeah, Eder, one of the more seasoned and well-versed people I've ever met.
Yeah, you know, you find that a lot in international athletes and competitors. You know, they're very well-versed, so they speak multiple languages or, you know, have degrees, you know, and it's incredible to think that, you know, a lot of countries across the world, you know, English is a taught second language in school or, you know,
Sure.
a required language to learn, but you don't expect them to learn a third or a fourth or a fifth language like some of these athletes do have.
I'm struggling with the English language as much as it changes with text messaging and email, so Eder's way ahead of me in that department. Well, Eder's going to get his chance to see what he can do in this 100-meter time trial. Eder was sharing with me some of the difficulties he faces as a skater in Brazil. Their national funding got cut, very similar to the U.S. But Eder's cranking it up. Oh, my goodness.
Wow, that's incredibly fast.
Absolutely. Let's see. He's going to go. Oh, 9.28. Well, he set the standard. Very respectable time for a guy who hasn't spent a whole lot of time indoors. I know
Absolutely.
he spent a little time in Wichita with Tanner Worley and his crew. Tanner, if you're listening, man, we got to get you here to the NSC. Love to see what you could do. See if you can mix it up in the league. I know you can.
Yeah, you know, Eder was telling me that it's very similar to the United States, that where he lives, the closest track that he gets to skate in is about 6 or 8 hours away, and he only goes there, you know, twice a year kind of thing to train for one camp and then maybe his outdoor national championships before Worlds. And, you know, just that right there goes to show the depth of the Brazilian country, the fact that they don't have a whole lot of availability on the track, but they still train really hard in their own hometowns and can bring out a quality skater like that.
Absolutely. Well, we talk about South American skaters. Can't go without talking about this guy, Juan Cruz Araldi, the world champion this year at the Outdoor World Championships in the marathon. But make no mistake, Juan is built like a sprinter.
Yeah, even though he won the marathon, he is literally built like a 500-meter skater.
Holy smokes, and he is turning and burning, Josh.
Wow. You know, he's a little bit off those pylons, but the acceleration is unreal.
8.4 for Juan.
Wow.
He's going to be the new leader. And again, another guy that hasn't had a whole lot of time on the indoor track, but I'm telling you, when you're that good at skating,
yep,
you can pick it up pretty easy.
Exactly. You know, the difference between a lot of these world champions and national champions and the skater that's still developing is adaptation. Being able to adapt to any course, any track, any bank, any road, it doesn't matter. These guys will be able to adjust and adapt to anything they need to skate on to go as fast as they can.
And he went pretty fast, setting that mark at 8.84. We'll see what the guy in the black and yellow can do, man. Jeremy Anderson rocking that 05, the veteran. Jeremy qualified 4th in the 300-meter event earlier today. Obviously a fan favorite, being a hometown guy, and the crowd is looking pretty deep tonight. You see that upper deck area starting to really fill up. See if this crowd can help pump Jeremy up to lower that time from Juan of an 8.84.
You know, again, we've talked about this before. You can't discount Jeremy. He skates so smooth and so technical. And he runs some technical practices, very, very technique-driven practices up in Auburn, and you can just see it the way he skates.
And he's won this event multiple times over the course of his 6-year career in the NSC, and here he goes. As he crossed that timeline, see what he's got. Uh-oh, Jeremy Anderson picking up the pace. Look at him now. Like you said, not many people have this type of technique entering that corner like Jeremy Anderson, and he is going to run a 9.01. Looked like it was going to be a little bit faster than the 9.01. Kind of came out of that last corner a little wide.
Yeah, I talked to Jeremy a little earlier. He hasn't been skating as much as he'd love to. You know, again, life takes over a lot of things.
Sure.
You know, with precedent with kids and that. But, you know, just that right there, even if he hasn't been skating, you can see how smooth and technical he is. That's how he's able to still hit that 9.0.
Well, Juan Cruzaraldi, still our current leader at an 8.84. But here's another former fastest man on skates, Donovan Sellers.
Yeah, that's right. You know, Donovan's got right now on the list of skaters, he's got the fastest recorded one lap in this group of skaters going right now of 8.31. And, you know, again, Donovan, you know, even though he's he's skating endurance tonight, you know, these guys all have to have that top speed, so he's going to be up there. I think he's going to be the first one to knock Juan off.
That could definitely be the case. Now, Donovan, one of the most smooth skaters in our league. It almost looks like he's never going hard.
That's right.
But he's going fast. He's going to hit the NSC timeline and throw down the fastest 100-meter time he can.
And I'm not going to
Here
lie,
he
it doesn't
goes.
look as fast as Juan's, though. It could be a fast time, but it doesn't look as fast.
Right. Oh, and he lowered it. An 8.78 for Donovan Sellers, 8.78. So like you said, you know, Juan looked like he was moving faster, but the efficiency of Donovan Sellers shows that he was actually moving faster.
That's right. You know, based on foot speed and power alone, Juan looked like he was going a lot faster. It looks like he carried the speed really well out of the exits, and not that Donovan didn't, but there's a difference in the look of the athlete when they were really poppy. But Donovan just so efficient at the beginning of the turn, maybe. That's where he gained or carried a lot of his time.
You're exactly right. He didn't lose much speed as he entered the turn, and you know, I think that's one thing that gets lost a little bit in indoor is you're only turning. You got to turn the whole time.
Absolutely.
So that entrance becomes really paramount between those fine, you know, tenths of seconds, especially in something like the 100-meter time trial.
You know, that's right. And even though there are technically 2 straightaways per lap, these guys are constantly building pressure and building speed on the exits, that there really is no time to adjust or settle in or relax in that straightaway before you're already going fast. Because you're going so fast, you're already slamming into that next turn. So it's a constant turn. You know, they're always at that inside left angle of their skates and their body leaning in.
Well, one guy that's known for his turning is this guy, Jarrett Paul, silky smooth. Let's see if Silky can throw down something faster than an 8.78. He said his legs were a little blown up after that 1600, but I think he can put it together for one lap.
You know, you hear over here some of the guys in the comment or some of the comments across the.
Whoa. Little bit of slippage for him, but Jarrett's gonna run a 8.69. Wow, had a little bit of a slip, but still able to lower the time set by Donovan Sellers.
You know, I heard a comment just a second ago when he was getting ready to take off and build up, and just right here at pylon 3 before his time started, I heard someone go, "Build it up." You know, I would have thought the same thing. It didn't look like he had the top max speed as he could crossing the line if he would have sprinted a half a lap earlier. You know, it costs you 50 meters more of a little bit of lactic in your legs, but it's worth it carrying the speed for that first turn.
Absolutely, and Jarrett was able to carry it through. Well, we've got your guy, the Auburn, Washington native, now transplanted to the Sacramento area, the future Isaiah Oliver. See if Isaiah Oliver can throw down a time faster than 8.69.
It's going to be tough. You know, he's a tall kid. He's thin, so he's light and really smooth to the turns, but he got long levers of those legs, you know. So it might be difficult for him to get up to be that snap and that pop. But again, he's very technical, so we'll see.
Well, Isaiah, again, another guy who's been a champion in this event before. So he has the pedigree. He's got a little experience. Let's see what he can do as he crosses the NSC timeline on that bell lap. And early on, he looks pretty good. Here he goes, Isaiah Oliver cranking out of that turn number 1.
So smooth and so relaxed and really tight on those pylons.
Wow. Oh, and he gets him with an 8.68.
Wow.
Well, Josh, I think it's pretty safe to say the floor conditions much better this evening.
Oh, absolutely. You know, you can see how much faster the floor is and tighter the floor is. All the athletes are really confident. And, you know, Isaiah rolled by here, kind of shook his head like, oh, I don't think that was that good. And even though he beat Silky and he's now the head, I can see he's a little bit disappointed in that. And again, it's a run once you brung, but, you know, everyone gets done and finished, and they're like, you know, I could have done this differently right away, you know.
Well, he did it well enough to be the new leader.
That's right.
So Isaiah Oliver, your current leader at 8.68. Wow. Well, the crowd sure liked it. They responded really well to the young man from Auburn, Washington.
That's incredible. That's 1/100th of a second over the course of a 100-meter. I mean, that's literally nothing, you know? I mean,
splicing hairs, I don't even think gives it justice.
Absolutely.
That's what we got now. Another guy. It seems like we have a lot of guys tonight that have actually won this event in the past.
Yeah.
And Mo the Mamba Hall is no different. Another former grand champion. The Mamba is very unpredictable. The Mamba could come out and throw down something really fast. The Mamba could come out and throw something not very fast.
Absolutely.
Fall down. There's no telling with the Mamba.
Absolutely. You know, he's quite the character, too. The entire group loves him. All the fans love him because he loves the attention. And he loves the audience. You know what I mean? He really appreciates.
There's no doubt about that.
All these guys out here for him. And it seems like he's always the one that's the first guy to get his skates off and go talk to the audience to make sure he gives back to these guys.
There's no question about it. I think Mo really relishes his opportunity as a role model for these younger skaters. And Mo, the Mamba Hall, not a bad skater himself. So let's see if we can get another new leader. We've seen the last 3 leads be diminished by the next guy. So let's see if Mo can do the same.
Yeah, you know, another one of those. When he hit here at pylon 3, I expected him to have a little more speed, but he's carrying it well.
I think you're right. It didn't seem like he built up quite enough.
Yeah, you know, and these
so
guys
Mo's
all
not
have
going to do it. He's right at 9 flat, but definitely not anywhere near Isaiah Oliver's 8.68.
Yeah, you know, those guys, again, their top speed's all the same, and they can probably maintain it for a lap, no problem. But if you don't get it started that extra 50 or 75 meters ahead of time to prepare yourself for that first turn, you lose a lot of speed, and it's exponential from corner to corner.
And you could kind of see Mo shaking his head off the edge, probably thinking something very similar. You know, that's, you know, the really, really technical part about this sport is the slightest thing matters.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's not the one big thing that makes the biggest difference. It's all those little tiny things throughout the entire 1-lapper or 5-lapper or 1600, 16-lapper that make the biggest difference.
Well, here comes another former 100-meter champ. You look at this list. Jeremy Anderson, former 100-meter champ. Donovan Sellers, former 100-meter champ. Jarrett Paul, former 100-meter champ. Isaiah Oliver, Maurice Hall, Brandon Hall, Zach Sungyout. Everyone besides our international skaters tonight has won this event. And Brandon Hall looks like he's trying to win it tonight. He's going to hit the timeline, 1 lap to go, and now he's moving. Oh, my goodness.
That's the kind of speed you got to have.
A little bit of a slip in that first turn, but let's see if he can hold it on this last turn. And Brandon's going to run a time of 8.81. It looked like that little bit of a slip.
Yeah.
And that first turn was the difference.
Made a difference for sure. You know, again, maybe it's the explosivity and the dynamic way he skates, but I really thought he had Isaiah by a solid 1500s. I was surprised when he crossed the line, you know, 1200s down.
Right, and we're talking about 1200s.
Hundreds,
right?
yeah.
I mean, an 8.81, 8.68. Everybody's going fast.
Absolutely.
But again, at the end of the day, that efficiency of Isaiah Oliver has been the difference.
Yep, the very, very smooth technical skating of Isaiah is what made the difference. It made it look like he wasn't trying or made it look like it was a slower time, but because he was so efficient and so smooth, it just carried that speed.
Well, if anybody's going to beat it, it's going to be this guy, our last and final competitor, your current fastest man on skates, Federal Way's own Zach Sungyow. Well, Zach, a guy very, very fast, especially when nobody's in front of him.
Absolutely. You know, when this guy's got a wide open plane and he can work the entire track from pad to pad kind of thing and pylon to pylon, there's very few times he can be beat when he's got no one in front of him.
Well, Zach was able to pull it out at our last event. And let's see if Zach can make it 2 for 2 here in season 7. He better start picking it up. Oh, here he goes.
See, again, great buildup.
There
this is a
That's
great buildup.
Absolutely. Oh,
wow.
Oh, my goodness, Josh. That was a very good first turn. In turn number 2, he's holding the speed, Josh. He might do it.
I don't know.
Oh! 8.70.
Wow.
We're talking about 200ths of a second. Wow.
Between first and third, we went 8.68,
wow.
8.69, 8.70. That's unreal.
That is unbelievable. Well, I tell you what, he was able to
Wow.
do it. This guy's known for his endurance, but we all know he also has that top-end speed